This is Vince Russo's The Brand.
Yo, what's going on?
Not much. Kingpin, Angel, and the Dad Bod God here in the fucking house on Wrestling with Tragedy. Case number 123.
Case number 123, the same thing you have on your luggage. Totally, that's a cool case number 123. This is a weird flow, but bro, I mean, today we're just gonna be talking about scandals, man. It's something that we definitely did need to touch because apparently we have many moments in wrestling history that there are a lot of scandals in this world.
Yeah, dude. And, it goes into I think after not goes into, let me rewind. But, in 2020, when we saw the speaking out movement, we saw so much come out. But over the years in pro wrestling, there has been many scandals that have been outed over the years. And, pro wrestling, started as a carny act. You know what I mean? So certain, carny aspects of the professional wrestling business, probably still lay in some parts in some companies to this day. But I think as well, there's been some outlandish things happen. And we're going to break them down, Angel. And, I'm going to ask you at the end of each one, dude, where you think it ranks as far as being a scandal or just being, it's just a clog in the wheel.
No, absolutely. But before we get started, let's get these sponsors out the way so we could definitely get this ball rolling.
No problem.
Definitely check out sleeves.com, one of the best websites out there for any sports athlete out there that definitely needs the gear to step their game up. Use promo code MWAPOD for 10% off. Also, check out their dirty boxes. It's definitely a great thing to have in the bedroom. Definitely a good thing to give to somebody for the holidays or their birthday or any type of anniversary. It's a great accessory into your romantic needs. Definitely, again, sleeves.com, promo code MWAPOD for 10% off.
And also go and check out healthvape.com. Health Vape is your healthy vaping alternative. All of their products, no nicotine, no addictive or harmful chemicals. They help restore your energy while giving you the vital boost you need to get through your day. So go and check out their Vape and Pod products. Use promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase.
Absolutely. So again, man, we're gonna definitely be talking about the scandals in professional wrestling that definitely just was a very what's the word I'm looking for? Impactful and caught people's eye during the time that just really stood out compared to other scandals. So Pierce, you have that list, so definitely let's go off that list.
Okay, so the first one, I wanted to ask you about was Karma in WWE, aka Kia Stevens. She was known as Awesome Kong in TNA. So she was on the hottest diva run that anyone had seen in years. So this was the diva era. So that was from the moment she hit the scene on WWE. She had this imposing presence with I don't want to compare her to Kane, but this Kane-like dominations. So Karma's matches were mainly squashed. But one of the things that happened was on one night, she was booked to kneel in the middle of the ring and begin crying in front of a handful of women on the roster, divas as they were called then, many of whom she had previously attacked in storyline. It was later revealed that Karma was pregnant and was forced to take a leave of absence to have her baby.
Well, and that was a sensitive topic at the time because before that it was the Dawn Marie scandal in regards to her pregnancy, and she was released and she sued them in regards to like a breach of contract and also discrimination. And they went to court and it was an undisclosed amount where they settled that, but they were really wanted to make sure that didn't take effect with the Karma situation because they knew what happened before, so they had to play it off a little bit different to at least pay her until her contract ran out.
And that's fair enough. I mean, I think the Dawn Marie situation was handled very, very poorly by WWE. Would you agree?
No, absolutely. I mean, because they didn't think that she was gonna. I think they didn't really think it over. They didn't really think things through in regards to the repercussions that it might have occurred, because the wrestling world is, the wrestling business is its own world, its own entity in the universe. WWE universe, discrimination or certain things like that didn't exist. So they just thought when they fired her that she was just going to go away and call it good. But she was like, no, you kind of disrespected me. You discriminate against me because I'm pregnant, and you fired me because I'm pregnant, and that's a lawsuit in the making, and it caught him off guard.
Yeah, dude. And when she did get released, so I believe it was in September 2013 or October 2013. She revealed she had been released because she was not ready to return in the time allocated to her. And she also confirmed interest in returning to the company, stating that she was ready.
And then this is an Awesome Kong, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't Dawn Marie. I mean, I can understand after you get. I mean, I'm not a mother and stuff, but I am a father. But once you give birth, maybe her
Oh, there's a
never,
there's a recovery time, to
yeah,
as well. Like if she had a
post
C-section as well, like that's you know what I mean?
postpartum.
Yeah. There's
You know,
many factors when after the birthing process for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think that she wasn't ready. Plus, after being a mother, she probably didn't want to leave her kid by themselves, to be back on the road, to not be by their side, to be a nurturing mother. So a lot of your priorities change once you become a parent. So I just think that she was just probably A, healing, B, wanted to be with her kid. So she was not ready to come back on the road, which was understandable. Any parent would do that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, after that, she wrestled on the Indies for a little while, and she returned to TNA in 2015. So, um, yeah, it kind of makes sense that taking that time off, working Indies, you got kind of get to pick your own schedule. And also pick where you go, how far you travel from home, and stuff like that. So obviously, that was ideal for her, and it's ideal for anyone. I think when you've got a newborn baby, that all of those have to take into consideration as well.
No, I mean, I agree with you 100%. You got to take that into consideration. But I mean,
But as
but it's
far as her coming out and then being like told to go out there and begin sobbing in the middle of the ring, like, do you think that they could have handled a little bit differently as far as writing her off TV?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I looked at the storyline at the time, it kind of like, you're supposed to be this badass person, and then all of a sudden you just go off script and become like, it's like Goldberg becoming something total opposite of what he's known for. So,
Yeah,
and people was just like not really accepting what she did. Nothing bad. It just was awkward. It was like, that's not Awesome Kong. That's not Karma, whatever she wants to call herself. But it's just that people would just it just didn't flow right. So it just put a like not a bad taste, but just kind of like, you know,
do
it
you
wasn't
think?
interesting.
Would you say it made her look? And I'm just trying to find the word here. Uh, do you think it made her look like vulnerable and like would draw compassion from the audience, or do you think it was done to make her look weak?
It made her look weak because, I mean, again, you're supposed to be a dominating force in the ring. You're known for TNA for being that type of person, and then you just like totally flip. It's like Eugene, doing his gimmick for years, and then all of a sudden he comes out as a intellectual with a smoking jacket, and and people are like, hey, ain't that Eugene? And it's just, again, it's just throws the character off.
Yeah. All right. I think we can move on. Like, as far as like this is a scandal, where would you rate this? Like, would you rate this as scandalous or not?
No, I don't rate this scandalous because, again, they learned a lesson from the previous situation, so they did take it with they did take their time to try to like figure out how to get rid of her, you may say, instead of doing the way they did it with Dawn Marie. That Dawn Marie was more of a scandal than this one.
Yeah, and that Dawn Marie is on the list.
Yeah, that is on the list. But the Awesome Kong situation, they learned from their mistakes, so they try to approach it in a different way.
Okay. So next one is we actually covered this on an episode completely, but I do want to touch on this because this is pretty pretty out there and outrageous. Arn Anderson, Sid Vicious, and a stabbing incident in the UK. In 1993, Sid Vicious and Arn Anderson were involved in a vicious brawl in Blackburn, Lancashire, involving a pair of scissors that resulted in a total of 24 stab wounds. 20 of them were taken by the enforcer.
And what kind of scissors were they? Were they the small scissors or the big scissors?
I think they were just standard scissors. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think they were like nail or like clipper scissors, if that's what you mean.
No, but like clipper scissors or like those big scissors you see on your desk at the office, or is it just like those small scissors that you get in your travel case when you're like trimming your nose hairs, So I mean, again, I don't know what it was because I mean, 20 stab wounds with a pair of scissors, you'd be leaking
Fuck you
all
up.
over the place. Yeah. And I just didn't know what the dimensions were due to the scissors. But yeah, I mean that is the scandals of all scandals, especially two of the top stars in WCW at the time, two known individuals that the fans know and love. So yeah, it hit the airwaves really fast, and everybody knew about it. It was big time scandal.
Well, Sid who was in the midst of a main event heavyweight title push in WCW at the time, was released by the company, and a couple years later he went on to back to WWE. Anderson lived through every violent stab wound thrown by Sid,
Mhm.
and both individuals were rushed to the hospital. No shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, rushed to the hospital, no fucking shit. But like, dude, 20 fucking stab wounds.
No, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, that's what I'm saying. How was Arn Anderson able to a recoup from that? You're not collapsing a lung or having lung issues and stuff like that. I mean, 20 stab wounds is not something to laugh at. I mean, that's something that's just like really serious. So that's why it always throws me for a loop when I'm trying to figure out like how did he survive? Which I'm happy he did, but it's still kind of like you're still trying to wonder. Was it stab wounds to his arm? Was it stab wounds to his ribs? Dead center in his chest. It was just, so hard to determine what happened in, 20 stab wounds. You haven't hit a vital organ. You know what I mean? Not even one. You
Let
know.
me ask you this, right?
Mhm.
Sid at the time in 1993 was still like, he wasn't the megastar that he went on to become, correct?
Who?
Sid
Could you?
wasn't. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Sid at the time wasn't the megastar that he went on to become, correct? So
I don't
let
know.
me put it to you like this: in 1993, the Kingpin's wrestling in WWE. This incident has just happened, and say you're at the top of the card, right?
Mhm.
WWE in 1993. Vince or someone comes to you and goes, "Hey, we're thinking about bringing in Sid Vicious." After what's just happened, would you say fuck that motherfucker? Don't bring him in because he's not safe to hang around the boys. He fucking stabbed Arn Anderson 20 fucking times, or would you go, no, we can make money, bring him in?
Well, again, I mean, what is my position, a wrestler or somebody who has position? Because that's the
You,
thing.
okay. So in 1993, imagine you are one of the top guys in WWE at the time.
Hmm. Yeah, top guy. Well, I mean, if I'm one of the top guys, like a Shawn Michaels or well, it's not Triple H. Top guys, Bret Hart, you
Taker,
know,
so on.
Taker. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, I mean, if they got Vince's ear, so absolutely. I mean, I would have not brought him in. I would have said, "Hey, man, this guy's unsafe. I don't know. It's not good for good locker room morale." For bringing somebody who almost killed one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And I'm not saying Sid is not the greatest wrestler, a great wrestler. It's just that there's a pecking order. Comparing to Ric Flair and Undertaker. It's like you look at them both, but I don't think Sid Vicious is Undertaker type. But I mean, it's like this. Ernest is like a little higher than him in that aspect. So to be honest, I would tell him not to bring him in. But again, I don't know what went through their minds to have him come in.
Well, it was a couple of years later, so they didn't bring him like in straight away. So it was like years later that they brought him back in. And it was a pair of, from my understanding, it was a pair of scissors that you'd see in the office.
See, and that's the thing. That's a lot of 20. But again, it's just the placement, like is it 10 on the forearm because they're defense wounds, and it's just man, were they slashes instead of stabs, more
Well,
than a gap.
that was also like, because they both had a few beers in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Anderson overheard Sid insulting, "Woo, Nature
Ric
Boy."
Flair.
Yeah. So, and then once they returned to their hotel, Sid, there was sort of some, art words said about it or whatever. Sid decided to go back to Arn's room to settle the argument. And then this is like allegedly he hit Anderson over the head with a hotel chair leg as Arn answered the door. So this sort of happened. It spilled into the hallway. The Nasty Boys apparently were there as well. Too Cold Scorpio, Big Van Vader, and all these people.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, all those people were there, saw it in action. I mean, again, they know the story. They know what happened. And I mean, like I said, if it was me and I was one of the top guys, then I would not have brought him in due to the fact that it's almost like bringing back the Invader. Like even though Brody died, but let's just go the opposite. But you bring back Invader into the ring, which they did, but. It's just, but only within the company that he was known to stay with. But again, man, it's just a touchy subject because the thing is that I really don't know why they brought him back in. I mean, I don't think he was that great. Great big man, but not great.
I mean, would you put this in one of the most scandalous things of all?
No, absolutely. No, it is a scandalous thing because, like I said, this was the hottest thing out there when it happened. I mean, not too many wrestlers had that type of altercation before. I mean, besides the police or, other, but this is something that was just like to the next level,
Okay.
I just think it is one of the top scandals. Yeah.
All right. So moving on. This is an interesting one. Randy Savage and Stephanie McMahon, did they or didn't they? So this is kind of like a scandal, but it's like an alleged scandal where no one has really provided any confirmation if it happens. So this could just be like an old folk tale as well. But I don't know.
The problem is that I know Gorgeous George did mention something in regards that Macho Man did tell her some information that legitimized the situation in regards to between him and Stephanie. Again, that's just what Gorgeous George says. I think it was in an article that she mentioned it. So, but again, I mean, there's so many rumors that it just spun out of control. Again, we don't know what really happened. Did they have sex? Did they just kiss? Did they go on a date? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how far did it go? Did it blemish in regards to like from a small thing to a big thing? So I don't know, man. But go ahead.
Vince never did business with Randy again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was gonna say. Like, like all of a sudden, once he didn't get a chance to say goodbye. They just came on live on TV saying that Vince said, "Hey, I can't remember, but he just told the fans that he was no longer coming back. They wished him the best of luck in future endeavors." It was on Raw, one of the Monday Night Raw segments. Yeah.
Like I just, as I said, this scandal will ever, remain a mystery, because it's entrenched in pro wrestling law that it has to be considered as a scandal because of its, prevailing ambiguity, right?
Well, yeah, and the thing is that the only two people that know the situation, or really three, is Macho Man, which he passed away, and Stephanie, which she's not going to say a word, and Vince McMahon. I mean, there's nothing. The only people that can tell the truth is those three. Well, two now.
Yeah.
But what do you think? I mean, be honest. I mean, she hooked up with Triple H, which again, I'm just saying, nothing bad. I'm just saying,
she was also an adult then as well. Like, I think.
Well, how was she? 17, 16? 16?
I think she was like 15, 16, something like that. I just think Vince McMahon wouldn't be having his daughter around that side of the business as far as like around the workers. Do you?
I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I mean, for me, after an incident like that happened with the boy, she'd be so far away from the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly my point. Like, yeah, I mean, we both have daughters, bro. Like, there's no fucking way in the world that would allow something like that happens, and then they wouldn't be anywhere around it.
Yeah, and even if it was a rumor, you're just like, oh, I don't want my daughter to have a bad reputation, even if the rumor's false. Now everybody thinks did they or didn't they? I'll keep my daughter away.
Do you think they did it?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say yeah or nay because I really don't know. I mean, the possibilities are there, but it's I don't know, man. I really don't know. Nobody's ever gonna say anything.
Dude, I think we're just gonna have to put it down to that one is speculation at its finest, really.
It's just hearsay, man. Like I said, it's just hearsay that just went off the rails, and we really don't know what really happened. So we just got to go off the rumors. And again, I just don't feel it went to that level.
Yeah, no, I get it. Next is Sting defeats Jeff Hardy in seconds at TNA Victory Road as Hardy battles demons. We've spoken about Jeff Hardy quite a few times on this podcast and other podcasts. This guy, bro, gets given opportunity after opportunity, and we will talk about the incident, but let me just put it this guy gets given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after fuck up after fuck up after fuck up. And where is it going to stop with Jeff Hardy? Does he actually have to fucking kill someone in a fucking by driving inebriated under the influence of drugs before anyone really takes it seriously? Like, I think he's under contract now with AEW, and they've pretty much like pulled him from TV after this last incident that's happened. But again, TNA 2000 and what was it, 12 when this incident happened?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Dude, again, like Jeff Hardy with his after this incident happened, right? He came out under the influence of whatever the fuck, had to do the job. Bischoff had to come out, tell Sting, fucking Scorpion Death Drop, 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy, same sort of message. Would you now then, again, being someone in WWE, would you then say, for example, he didn't get released, but if he had gotten released, he would have gone to WWE and you're there, would you have said, don't bring this fucker in?
Well, yeah, man, because how many chances can you give the guy? Again, I'm not knocking the dude. It's just that he messed up so many times, and just because it's Jeff Hardy and he does a lot of crazy stunts doesn't mean that he could get a get out of jail free card in regards to what happened. I mean, he doesn't learn his lesson, and everybody keeps saying poor him, but the guy has been fucking up numerous times that disappoints the fans. So why put your money into with something it's like putting your money into a car that doesn't, every time you replace something in the car, something else breaks down. After a while, you're gonna be like, you know what, I'm tired of putting money in a money pit,
Yeah, and I just think it's just where he goes from there. But this whole incident, man, like if you were wrestling someone like that and you were in Sting's shoes that night and you saw this guy coming out like fucking all over the place and stuff like that and clearly off his face, the world of pro wrestling, when you get in there, you're putting that person's life in your hands. A split second, you could fucking cripple them, kill them, whatever, or badly hurt them if you don't know what you're doing, right? Or not have sound mind. If you look across the ring, you've been out there, this guy comes out and you see him like that. What is your reaction? What is your thought?
Like in what way? What would be my thought about what though?
Like you're about to have a match with this person. You're in the ring. You're standing there. You're looking at him come out.
Well,
like
first of all, yeah, but the thing is that my thoughts, there won't be no thoughts. The thing is that you said my thoughts. I'm like, there's no thoughts. I would have been like, yo, there's two things I might do. I would tell the person, I'm not going to work with this motherfucker if he's inebriated. And I'll tell him, dude, if you fuck me up, I'm going to break your fucking neck.
But this is in the ring. This is
no,
in the ring.
this is No. I'm telling this before the show starts, before the match, before we even walk out into the fucking ring.
So
I
you're
already.
going based on history, right? So on
Yeah,
this
I'm
guy's
going. Yeah,
history.
yeah. I'm going off his history. I'm going off like what I know. And right before I say, "Hey, man," I would tell the promoter, if he fucks me up, you're gonna hear my fucking mouth. And then I'm gonna tell him straight out that, dude, I have nothing but respect for you, man. But if you slip up, if you're inebriated, if you're on gimmicks and you kick my teeth in and you hurt me, there's a receipt coming 3 times. 3 times fourth. Well,
Okay, so fast forward to that match comes. He comes out and he's off his face.
then he gets an ass whooping. I will fuck him up. It'll be like a Lord Steven Regal beating up on Goldberg. But it'll be more than that. It'll be like I said, I would just beat his ass, because again, if he just this blows me off after I had a conversation with him, or then that means he doesn't give a fuck who I am, and then and he thinks his shit don't stink, then he needs an ass whooping. That's a legitimate shoot. But if it's something like you said, like I went out there, this is the first time we ever met, and this is the first time he was ever inebriated, and I wasn't aware, and then he kicks my teeth in. Yeah, then I'd be like, this guy's, I won't give him anything to do. So I would do type of a sting thing and just roll him up and hold him tight and pin him and just walk out. Do like a Austin Aries when he pinned oh my God.
Morrison then stood up and walked out.
No, but he was calling himself, he always calls himself something else. Impact Johnny or Johnny Impact, I think it was called. His name was.
Morrison, Johnny Impact, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Impact. Yeah, I would fucking just walk. I mean, I'm not saying he fucked up, but I would do what Austin Aries did. I would pin him, hold him tight, and just fucking walk out and just walk to the back.
All right. So Jeff Hardy, Sting, Victory Road match. As far as biggest scandals, where would you rank it?
If I could give it from a level from 1 to 10, I give it like a 4. I mean, it wasn't something that was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It was just like, what the fuck's wrong with him? So it was a scandal, but nothing that made that people gasp. You know what I mean? Like an Owen Hart falling out the rafters type of gasp. I mean, it's just like, wow, man, he was fucked up. He didn't look right. So it was a scandal, but not too like shocking.
Sure. Okay, so this is an interesting one since we mentioned Austin Aries. So Austin Aries responded to a claim that he made a woman kiss his testicles to teach a lesson. The former Impact and WWE star took to Twitter and denied that the sexual abuse that he sexually abused on. It's unclear. Well, it's the alleged incident happened. They're saying here, but apparently it was almost like a rib. So what happened? Or not a rib, but maybe a rib gone wrong. So do you know, like Rhett Titus wrestled in Ring of Honor, was tagged with Kenny King?
No, I never knew that. You said Titus?
Yeah, Rhett Titus.
Not the fucking Funkasaurus, right?
Oh no.
Okay, that's why I was like, huh? No.
Not Titus. Titus. Rhett Titus. So
okay.
He used to have a gimmick where he would come out and he would have like lipstick marks on, like kiss marks on his body. And he brought his girlfriend at the time to the show, and she put the lipstick on and went and did all that sort of stuff. And then like he brought his girl in the locker room to do it and all that sort of stuff. She stayed in the locker room. He went and had his match. And then allegedly Austin Aries said to Rhett, "Hey Rhett, can I steal your gimmick?" or something along those lines about like the kiss marks. And he's like, "Oh, no way." And then apparently like Austin Aries put his leg up on the chair, pulled out his nuts, and there was like his girlfriend's lipstick print on his nuts. And apparently Austin Aries went to the girlfriend and said, "Oh yeah, it's part of the gimmick. It's part of the gimmick."
Nah, I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe that happened.
Yeah, I reckon.
Come on, man, dude. The fucking there's been worse situations in regards to this cancel culture, and Joey Ryan got fucking ousted because guys were, people grabbing his dick. You really think that Austin Aries will slip through the cracks, especially if he made somebody kiss his balls?
No, this came out.
Yeah, but he was still wrestling. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't believe it. I don't think that happened.
They were actually laughing about it. So,
Yeah.
I've got a video here. I can show it.
Go ahead, bring it up. I'll see it. Let me see. I never saw it.
Okay, 1 second. Can you hear it? Oh,
No, I don't hear nothing.
what about now?
Right. Well,
Can you hear
Aries
that?
won the belt for the second time.
Can you hear that?
I heard that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we were there. You know,
I got a funny story about that night. You know about that night. You know about that night. Come on, dog.
We'll say some shit. I remember. I'm sure.
Lipstick.
Oh shit!
So
This is a true fucking story. This is a true story.
So we're going to this show, right? And I had just gotten this new fresh gear, with like all these lip prints over it, And I've been like seeing this chick back at home, and she was like, I really want to come to the show, blah blah blah. I'll drive you there, whatever, blah blah blah. I was like, all right, she took me to the show. I was like, cruising, in this Honda Civic, like bumping some shit, like on the way up to New York City, like feeling so fresh, so fly, so funky, and all of a sudden, we get there, things are cool. And, I got this lip print on my tights, so I'm like, we put this lipstick on and, kiss me on.
Stop. Listen.
Stop. What?
Because you're going like, can I tell the story?
All right. You tell the story now.
So here comes Red Titus with the fucking, so he's got this pretty girl with him. And so he's, for the match, got her to kiss with lipstick all over his fucking chest and all down his leg. Great fucking idea. However, this is why you don't bring your fucking girlfriend around the wrestling business.
Learn this the hard way.
Yeah, this motherfucker learned the very hard way. So you bring a pretty girl around wrestling, and she's kissing Red Titus on the chest and lips. There's
all these motherfuckers are just standing around like.
So there's gonna be a group of motherfuckers trying to fucking get in on that shit. So there was a lot of shit that went on, and then Aries trying to teach his fucking student a lesson because she was very friendly with the rest of the boys. I think she'd kiss Pierce on the neck and like kiss Pierce on the chest. So Aries pulls one of his balls out and says, "Hey, you want to fucking help the team? I'm the fucking leader of the team. Kiss one of my balls." Straight fucking shoot. She kisses Aries' balls with that fucking red lipstick.
I'm getting ready for my match. Me and Kenny versus Young Bucks. We're about to open up the Hammerstein Ballroom, right? We're about to open up that Hammerstein Ballroom. I'm like, getting ready, like. And all of a sudden, Harris comes up and he's like, "Oh, those are really nice lip prints you got right there." And he's like, "I got one too." And he whips his nut out. And I was just like, oh. So like,
So Red's girl fucking kiss Aries' nuts, and that's why you don't bring your fucking pretty girlfriend to the wrestling business.
Hold on. The story gets better. So I'm like, you know what, like. I come back after the match and she's like, you did great. I just look at this bitch like and she's like, what's the matter? I'm like,
you kiss
you don't know what's the matter? And she's like, oh, that whole thing? And she looks at me and she goes, I thought it was part of the gimmick. And I freaked the fuck out. The gimmick? You're not the fucking gimmick. I'm the fucking gimmick. Fuck you. Like, where are you trying? Like, you motherfucker? Like, I'm the gimmick.
So what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, but she was a rat. She was not one of the workers. I just thought she was a worker, but no, it was a rat. Now I believe it. So it's a fucking rat, man. I mean, she was stupid for doing what she did. That's why you don't bring your girlfriend in the back of the locker room. It's just one of those unwritten rules, man. I mean, it's just something that, again, she deserved it because she was stupid and make the other guy look stupid. And he knew that Austin Aries knew that the other guy was not going to do it because he was trying to teach this kid a lesson, in which, again, the kid knew, the dude was not going to do anything. So
if you were in the situation and you were Rhett Titus, what would you think? Because Rhett was actually trained by Austin Aries.
That what would I think if it was me?
Yeah, like if you were Rhett Titus, you came back and then your trainer, you're the guy who's like your mentor in the business goes, "Hey, your girlfriend just kissed my nut, one of my nuts."
Well, I mean, like I said, man, it just puts a bad light on you, and you can't do anything to your trainer because during that time, the rules are like, man, I'm just gonna, would I risk my career for this broad, you know, but if I don't do anything, it makes me look like a wimp, and then you get the story of like, this is, this story is gonna last forever. So either way, you're damned, because now this is in history. So, but again, the person to me now, um if it would have happened to me, I'm being honest. If it would have happened to me back then, I would have looked stupid because I was green. I would have fucking like not done anything because I didn't want heat. I would have fucking been like, I'm fucking so stupid, but I gotta suck it up. I gotta take the hit. This one, the me now, that would never happen. But if it did, then me and Austin Aries would be fucking, moving furniture. And I will kick the girl out. I will fucking whoop, me and him will be fighting, whoever wins, because I'm not gonna let him get one over on me. It's disrespectful, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
You
100%.
know,
I agree.
but
Let's move on to the next one. Dawn Marie sues WWE for wrongful termination after being fired during pregnancy. Former WWE and ECW performer Dawn Marie filed a wrongful termination lawsuit against the WWE that would forever make the promotion think twice about who and how they get terminated. While on leave due to pregnancy, Dawn Marie was promptly released by the company, which sparked a lawsuit and a subsequent negative media attention to them as well. Since the incident, such as the wrongful termination, and the adverse effects that it had for WWE politically, looking at Linda McMahon's political career, it's pretty safe to assume that the company will never fire another one of their female performers when they're pregnant again.
I mean, we already talked about it with the Awesome Kong situation. I mean, they fucked up, man. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I know we're just step back and taking a step back a little bit, but yeah, I mean, the problem with the business, just like I said about the Austin Aries situation, is that they didn't think that it was going to be taken to that level. 9 out of 10, the wrestler's going to, at the time during the 90s, the person's going to take it for what it is and just walk away because they want to come back eventually. So they don't want the heat. You understand what I mean? So, they just thought that she was not going to do anything, that she would just take it for what it is and just keep pushing forward. And then hopefully she'll be able to come back. So, yeah, I mean, they didn't think about it. They didn't think about the repercussions of that matter.
Yeah, I mean, Dawn Marie is someone that you know from your time in ECW.
Oh, I love Dawn.
Yeah, and you've always spoken highly of her, just how much of a lovely person that she is.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that she was released? Do you think she had heat at the time? That's why she was released, and the pregnancy was like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Or do you think the pregnancy got her heat and they went, oh, fuck it, I will just release her?
Yeah, man. She probably, when she got pregnant, they were like, oh, man, we had so many ideas for her, and she got pregnant. That messes up our whole fucking program. Man, fuck that bitch. Fire. I mean, I could just see that happening. We could get another bitch to take her place, that type of shit. So I just think they just didn't really think about it, and they just fucking, they did that, and, they, like I said, they did not think she was going to take it to that next level.
As far as like the biggest, would you say this is one of the biggest scandals in professional wrestling, or not so big?
No, it is a fucking big scandal, man, because it showed that it was disrespect for the women who are pregnant. They showed that, they didn't really put her feelings, in account in regards to that situation. I just think that they just really fucked up, and it was a big scandal because, again, you don't fire a woman because she's pregnant. It's just a no.
Yeah, no, I agree, completely agree. Moving on now to the next one. WWE sends CM Punk termination papers on his wedding day.
Yeah, I remember that. They FedExed that bitch to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fucked up, man. And they knew that, they knew that was fucked up.
Well, do you think that that's just part of like the WWE back then? It's like, yeah, how can we fuck this guy up even more? I know, let's release him on his wedding day.
I don't know. WWE is a fucked up environment, man. They do shit. They knew the motherfucker was getting married that day. I mean, I just think they just did it just as a high spot. Like a fuck you, we're gonna ruin your wedding. We're gonna put you in a bad mood. I
Yeah.
think it was done on purpose.
And that's the thing, bro. Like he had walked out at that stage, right, of WWE. And he went on to say, like, prior he'd left. He was like, I'm done. I've had enough. And this is a statement that he said, the day of my wedding, I got a FedEx in the mail. It was my termination papers. I was fired. I was fired on my wedding day. Very calculated, very deliberate. As much as I chuckled at it and didn't let it affect my day, I was once again, you pushed too fucking far. You pushed the wrong fucking guy, explained CM Punk.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, there was just, again, another disrespectful moment for them to come to his wedding, his biggest day, and they fucking kind of try to shit on him, and they just didn't think he was just gonna like react to it. So yeah, man, the motherfucker has a right to be fucking upset on his fucking wedding day.
He also said the letter that he got was ridiculous. It was your contract is terminated. You forfeit all your royalty rights. You're in breach of contract as of January 27th. And he said, I'm not even a fucking lawyer, and I know you can't claim retro breach. You know what I mean? If I was in breach of contract on January 27th, on January 28th, they had to be like, you're in breach of contract. We're not giving you your royalties.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but he knows better than I do. Yeah, fuck, he was fuck. Yeah, they need to pay him his money.
Do you think him leaving WWE rates as being one of the biggest scandals?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big scandal because he left just like that, and again, he was just one of those guys that they would not I was about to sneeze, sorry. But yeah, I mean, it was a big scandal because he was a big, still a big star, but he was a big star then. It had a lot of angles going on, and then he just disappears. So yeah, it left him in the lurch in regards to that situation. So yeah, absolutely, it's a big scandal.
Okay.
What do you think,
dude? I think it was more like it was shocking when he left because I think he went through and re-signed with the company before that, and that when he had the Summer of Punk and did the pipe bomb gimmick. I think walking out on your contract and walking out on your employer, I think you've got to sometimes sit down and try and nut it out besides just walking out. In saying that, I've never worked for a company like WWE. I've never been a professional wrestler. So I can't say that I've walked in CM Punk's shoes or know what he was feeling or what he was going through and what he was experiencing. I think it was shocking to get your termination papers on your wedding day. That's WWE trying to stick the knife in and twist.
No, I fucking agree, bro. They will fucking stick. I mean, they stuck the knife and twisted it, and I bet you it had a serrated edge. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, WWE always wants to do something to hold. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like when you go to your boss and your boss tells you to go like get on your ass, and he don't think you like have the nuts to speak back to him when he tells you that you have to work overtime, and you worked overtime for like every day for 2 hours overtime every day for 6 months, and they think they could just say, well, you're working overtime again. And when he speaks up, they're like, holy shit, I didn't expect that happening. Yeah, man, then they were fucking shocked.
Yeah. All right, so this is the next one. Former WWE. Can I not say the word diva? I just find diva to be so fucking like ridiculously stupid to use. One former WWE performer Sable files lawsuit against WWE alleging sexual harassment So Sable was unquestionably the WWE's most popular like female during their initial boom period, or the diva boom period of the Attitude Era. She was polarizing. She promptly left the company in 1999 and soon after sued the WWE citing sexual harassment, which is no fucking surprise there, that being true. Given the status of Sable at the time, such a lawsuit was like unprecedented given her star power.
I thought she was horrible. I really thought she was a drizzling shits. But again, that's just my opinion with her star power. I mean, back in the days, man, I wouldn't have been surprised, man. I mean, you could have got away with murder back in the days in regards to what's going on in the locker room. Now you can't, but I think I'd be honest. I bet you she had some legitimacy in her story in regards of being, fucked with, and in regards to that, I could see that.
Well, dude, like she was pretty much one of the biggest stars there. She would get the biggest pop, of the night in a lot of cases, bro.
No, I agree. I mean, she was a top star. It's just, but again, she is. I don't think she's a top star. I know she was popular with everybody. Every time she came out, everybody loved her. She was, respected and stuff like that. I just think it's just funny that, how it happens. Like I said, she's filing these lawsuits in regards to sexual harassment, but nobody's going to believe her.
Well, this is an interesting story that I heard. So Sable, at one stage, actually, you know what? Let me play this clip for you. This is like when I spoke with Vince Russo, he told me a story about how the Undertaker buried Sable.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to this.
Bro, I remember when Austin was hot, and I remember, bro, Sable, her role, bro, was like the game show pretty girl that was, and I'll never forget, bro. We had a scene where there was this big inflatable, whether it was a King of the Ring armchair or something, WWF, you put your beer in it, whatnot, and Sable came out as the spokesmodel, pointing to this and this and this and showing it. I was in the house, bro, and that got the second biggest pop behind Austin. And that's when in my mind, I knew, bro, we've got to do something with Sable. She could be over huge. It was like my idea, let's put the title on her and this, that, and the other thing. And bro, Sable became a huge star. Huge. Okay. And bro, I'll never forget this. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Of all people, and this is really old school now, Taker gets in Vince's ear because a woman is taking a spot of one of the boys. That should not be, that should be one of the boys. The fact that Sable was so over, the boys couldn't handle it because this is the boys' world. This is the boys' club. No,
the alpha business.
And a woman is taking somebody's spot.
So, that doesn't indicate any sexual harassment, but looking at what happened there in WWE, do you think that Sable was subject to sexual harassment backstage?
It's kind of hard, bro. I mean, that's a very hard to to hit it on the nose. But I'm gonna be honest. I mean, back in those days, I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't think it has enough meat on that bone to kind of say, yeah, I agree with her. Yeah, I can see that happening. It's a very, very touchy situation in regards to, but just to go off what she says, you need that Carfax, brother.
Yeah. Well, they settled out of court in 2003.
They probably just didn't want to,
they settled out of court.
Look, let me explain something to you in regards when people settle out of court. The reason they settle out of court, not all of them, but I'm just giving you some stories. People who settle out of court is because two things. Their attorney's saying, hey, just pay her what she's paying because this is going to hold you in litigation. You're going to lose a lot of money in regards of all this stuff. It's just easier just to pair, get it over with, and push forward. That's why I like the Michael Jackson scandals and stuff like that. Doesn't mean he was guilty. Their attorneys were just saying, hey, if for your best interest, you don't want to be in court all the damn time. It's going to hold you up in court. You're going to be losing money. It's just better just to pay it, get it over with, and keep pushing forward because we have other things on the plate. So Vince probably was like, look, man, I ain't going to fucking deal with this headache. Fuck it. Just pay her, what she wants, or come to agreement, and we won't use her again. That's what it is. So again, just because they settled doesn't mean that they were guilty.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So this is the last one that we'll be covering today. Raw almost gets cancelled. So no one's ever going to forget the explosive Raw segment that pitted Stone Cold Steve Austin breaking into Brian Pillman's home. Things escalated quickly where Pillman drew a firearm on Austin, threatening to kill Stone Cold. The entire So the entire incident received a tremendous outpour from viewers with a lot of backlash. The USA Network debated on canceling Monday Night Raw from its lineup. Thankfully, the WWE was able to avert disaster via numerous public apologies, and in the end, the program remained on air. That's some pretty crazy shit, dude. Almost getting Monday Night Raw fucking taken off the air.
They didn't think it was going to be anything such a big deal. I mean, it's almost like the same thing with the hand, like Mark Henry and Mae Young giving birth to the hand. They did it. They thought it was funny, but then, that could have been some major repercussions in regards of like people just chipping their teeth about it, but nothing happened. So I just think they really didn't think it was going to be anything since it was the Attitude Era. They were the risque. I think they just didn't think it was going to take that type of steam, how it took off, but I think it was just a poor choice, but they just didn't think they were doing anything wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, that's at that stage, they're really sort of pushing the boundaries with programming. But the thing is, if someone was watching a television series, right, like, I don't know, Law and Order or some shit like that, and something much worse is seen on TV, what is it about pro wrestling that the fans can't differentiate from the character and person? Because I feel like a lot of times in wrestling, and you see this in as I said, movies, plays, TV series, right? Fans can differentiate. A majority of fans can differentiate the character and the person. You know what I'm saying? Like Clint Eastwood isn't really Dirty Harry.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but what is it? What do you think it is about pro wrestling which isn't looked at in the similar light? You know what I'm saying?
Because the thing about pro wrestling is that we're in our own world. It's just like being a rock star. It's like being the guy that you're untouchable once you're all in that world. The groupies. Look at a fucking Tommy Lee, fucking going on Twitter showing his fucking junk. They just feel like it's untouchable. Not his dick, but I mean the whole situation. Because you're in that world. I mean, you have orgies, you have rats, you have threesomes, you have foursomes. It's a different world, man. Like it doesn't, like you're in a metaverse. Jokingly, it's just something where it's like, oh yeah, man, nothing's gonna happen. Nobody's gonna say anything. What happens on the mile stays in the mile until there's a crack in that world.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm sort of getting at. It's more along the lines of fans looking at it and going, they're not going to go up to Clint Eastwood and go, that's Dirty Harry, a fucking, badass cop. It's Clint Eastwood. But then, like, say, for example, someone plays like a Hitler Nazi in a movie, right? After that movie, they're not really a Hitler Nazi, and fans can sort of like understand that. But in pro wrestling, you can't have someone go out there and being a Nazi gimmick because that shit's going to get canceled pretty quick. People are going to take offense to it, but it's okay for that shit to be depicted on television. Or like it's the same thing with any type of like taboo subject. I think with pro wrestling, it's looked at as a different light from other performances. If that makes sense, like different performance art, like movies, TV shows, plays.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's a totally different realm in regards to the movies because it's a 2 hour movie or a hundred, like 119-minute movie compared to like having. Well, I mean, even like Hogan's Heroes, it was a series where they were in a constant, a military concentration camp. And it was a
Sure.
comedy, and there was no Hitler, but there were Nazi Germany. I really don't know, brother. I mean, that's just a very, very touchy subject. Not touchy, like it's a different.
I just wonder what is the thing about pro wrestling that makes people not be able to detach like they can from like media and other types of like entertainment. That's just my thing, bro. That's kind of just the final thought. But dude, we're getting time to wrap up. Do you think we can get another episode out about wrestling scandals, or do you think we've covered quite a few?
I think getting John's perspective, and fans are wondering where John is. He's at what was it, a Rage Against the Machine at MSG, so he's focusing on that. He had tickets, so he wasn't able to come on. But we definitely need to get John's perspective in regards to this matter. What do you think?
I think so too, bro. I think John is going to have a lot of great ones that he's going to think of that we didn't touch on. So we'll definitely get it sorted. But guys, make sure you check us out and get an exclusive first look at all of our episodes on russosbrand.com. That's patreon.com/RussoTWC. You can also find our back catalog on YouTube and all podcast platforms as Wrestling with Tragedy. So please go like, share, subscribe. If you listen on a podcast platform, please give us a 5-star review. It helps us out. It helps us grow. It helps us bring more amazing content to more amazing fans, viewers, listeners. So we appreciate it. Make sure you go and check out. Oh, sorry, Angel.
No. Before we go, I just also want to say to one of the pro wrestlers, the Golden Boy, he's getting open heart surgery. I just want to give him a shout out, speedy recovery. He's a wrestler out here. I know him, but I don't know him. But anytime one of the boys are having some serious surgery, man, I just want to wish him best of luck and speedy recovery.
Best of luck to the Golden Boy. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. Take care, and we'll see you all again next week. Peace.
Peace out.
This is Vince